Hello, my name is Amanda Tennant, and this lecture is on stress and the progressive muscle relaxation technique. Many of us store pockets of stress inside our bodies, which literally manifest as tight and tense muscles. This physical expression of mental stress can even contribute to the development of trigger points, muscle spasms, limited range of joint motion, neurological symptoms, discomfort, and pain. Those who are chronically stressed out and who experience continuously tight muscles as a result may even suffer from various chronic pain syndromes. Unfortunately, feeling uncomfortable or restricted in our bodies can wind up being just one more thing that we're stressed out about, and thus a vicious cycle of mental and physical stress can ensue. This is just one example illustrating the intimate connection of the mind and the body. Let's frame this concept within a real-world scenario and see how it can play out. Molly is 46 years old, married with 4 children, and has been working a part-time position for the same company for nearly 20 years. Not only does Molly truly enjoy her job, but her family relies on her salary to pay for the college tuition of her 2 eldest children. For the past 3 months, her company has been downsizing. She has already survived 2 rounds of layoffs, but rumors are floating around that there are at least 2 more rounds to go. Molly has feared that her job is in jeopardy for months, and she doesn't know how she'll be able to afford her children's higher education if she's let go. So she's been trying extra hard to be productive in the office, which has left her feeling rushed and pressured to accomplish more than she can realistically achieve. Although she's been putting lots of effort into being productive, much to her dismay, Molly has been experiencing difficulty concentrating. She's also noticed that her shoulders and jaws are constantly clenched very tightly. And a couple of weeks ago, her coworker commented on her overly rounded posture before kindly inviting her to join him for a Saturday yoga class. She declined, as she couldn't possibly imagine trying to carve out any time for something like that in the midst of all that was currently going on. Last month, Molly began suffering from headaches, TMJ, and insomnia. She knew that she would be able to ignore or adjust to all of these minor yet bothersome symptoms as long as she could just hold on to her job. Despite this confidence, a few days ago, Molly experienced heart palpitations accompanied with angina, and this frightened her enough to land her smack dab in the emergency room. A medical evaluation revealed that no permanent damage had occurred. She was smart to seek treatment, though, because the attending physician explained to her how dangerous stress can be to one's health, and she really needed that reminder. Molly knew that she had to make some lifestyle changes moving forward if she wanted the privilege of being around long enough to see all of her children grow up. What she needed was a way to manage her stress. Stress. What exactly is stress? According to thefreedictionary.com, stress is defined as an organism's total response to environmental demands or pressures, and it results from interactions between a person and his or her environment that are perceived as straining or exceeding their adaptive capacities, threatening their well-being in the process. For most of us, it's virtually impossible to remove all potential stress-inducing people, events, and circumstances from our lives. Let's face it, stuff happens. Even if we're unable to change, manipulate, or control our environment, we're still left with a couple of options to minimize or obliterate stress. First of all, we can choose to alter our perspective regarding stressful triggers, meaning we learn how to control our mind and the thoughts within. This can be accomplished via a variety of techniques, such as meditation, visualization, chanting or repeating a mantra, or learning to choose positive and optimistic thoughts while letting go of negative and limiting ones. Once the mind has reframed a potentially stressful circumstance into a doable one, then the body will experience the beneficial results associated with inducing the parasympathetic system and eliciting the relaxation response. This is yet another example of the mind-body connection. Basically, if we calm and redirect the mind, then the body will follow. Amazingly, this formula works in reverse as well. By activating the parasympathetic system and triggering the relaxation response, we can positively impact the mind and reduce our stress levels. Some of the ways in which we can physically and physiologically relax the body include massage, acupressure, acupuncture, stretching, certain pranayama or breathing techniques, and progressive muscle relaxation, which is the technique I'm going to focus on for the remainder of this lecture. Progressive muscle relaxation was developed by a psychologist named Edmund Jacobson in the 1930s, and it has been used as a clinical method for managing anxiety and stress ever since. All individuals have a resting level of muscle tension, and what is considered a normal level will vary from person to person. When someone, like Molly, is exposed to acute or chronic stressful triggers, then their normal level of muscle tension will increase, quite possibly to the point of becoming symptomatic. This is when an individual may begin to experience things such as fatigue, pain, headaches, irritability, or high blood pressure. Their fight or flight system has likely been activated, and their body will probably feel tight and stiff. Sustained over a period of time, this situation will never lead to improved health, wellness, or comfort. Muscle relaxation, which is sometimes referred to as the tense and relax method, is based on the physiological concept that by tensing and releasing specific voluntary muscle groups, one can relax these muscles to such a degree that it registers lower than that individual's usual levels of resting muscle tension. In other words, not only will this technique alleviate heightened stress-induced muscular tension, but it will actually lower this tension below one's normal level of resting muscle tension. Through this systematic process of controlled tensing and releasing of the body's major muscle groups, the parasympathetic system is activated and the relaxation response is elicited. Before delving further into the potential benefits of activating the relaxation response, let's briefly review how the body's nervous system is organized. The nervous system is comprised of the central nervous system, consisting of the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, which is further broken down into the sensory somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system contains the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic and parasympathetic branches work as a system of checks and balances. While the sympathetic nervous system is responsible for triggering the fight or flight syndrome, the parasympathetic nervous system induces the relaxation response. The fight or flight response causes actions in the body such as heightened muscular tension, increased blood pressure and heart rate, dilated pupils, and difficulty concentrating on small tasks. These are the types of symptoms that Molly has been dealing with while working in what she perceives to be a very stressful environment. The relaxation response improves blood flow to the brain, lowers blood pressure, minimizes or eliminates pain, reduces levels of the stress hormone cortisol, and increases energy, motivation, and productivity. As you can imagine, Sustained states of relaxation response induced qualities will most definitely contribute to health, wellness, and comfort, and would absolutely benefit our friend Molly. The relaxation response is a drug-free and non-invasive way to positively affect both one's mind and body. It is a mentally active process that is best achieved in an awakened state. Additionally, it's trainable and becomes more and more effective with consistent practice. All of these requirements can be met with regular sessions of progressive muscle relaxation. Although the act of muscle relaxation may be predominantly thought of as a physical practice, it also involves the power of concentrating one's awareness on various body parts, which is one form of meditation. Engaging in this tense and relax method illustrates once again the strong and influential mind-body relationship that exists within all of us. As muscles are tensed and released, the mind is positively impacted. Likewise, as attention is mindfully focused on specific muscles, the body is better able to let go of unnecessary and oftentimes symptomatic tension. I'd now like to take you through a session of progressive muscle relaxation so that you can experience firsthand its positive mental and physical effects. To begin with, attempt to place yourself in a calm and quiet environment that is likely to be free of all distractions for the next several minutes. Make sure to silence or turn off nearby cell phones, computers, and television sets. In fact, it would be ideal to practice progressive muscle relaxation in the absence of all things emitting electromagnetic fields. Perhaps you could take this experience outside into the natural world, or at least position yourself near an open window or in a room inhabited by houseplants. Wherever you choose to practice, it's important that you find a place where you're likely to feel comfortable and at ease. In time, once you get the hang of this process, you may find that you'd like to perform progressive muscle relaxation while wearing earplugs, listening to white noise, or gentle background sounds of nature. For now, do your very best to focus on just my words. If your attention drifts off, as it likely will, then simply bring your awareness back to my voice and to my instructions, even if you have to refocus your thoughts many, many times during a session. Once you've determined your location, assume a comfortable position for your body. Most people will have the easiest time achieving deep and profound physical releases while lying supine or on their back, due to the fact that so much of their body weight will be completely supported by the floor or other surface, such as a mattress or a sofa. However, if lying on your back is contraindicated, proves difficult, or feels like a strain for you, then you may perform this technique in an alternate position, like side lying, or even while seated on a cushion or in a chair. If possible, remove your shoes and any restricting articles of clothing or jewelry. Let's begin. Close your eyes and just begin to notice your breath. Feel how the breath comes in and goes out of your body. Notice whether it enters and exits through your nose, your mouth, or possibly both. Without touching or looking at your torso, can you tell if the areas of your chest, rib cage, or belly are expanding as you inhale and deflating as you exhale? Now bring some awareness to the quality of your breath. For example, is it smooth and even, or jagged and strained? Is it quick and shallow, or slow and deep? Whatever you discover, Don't try to change or alter it at this time. Just become aware of what's happening with your breath and make a mental note of it. You are encouraged to keep the eyes shut for the remainder of this session. Bring your attention to your toes. How do they feel? Are they cold, warm, cramped, tense, or loose? Give them a little wiggle and really notice what's going on in your toes. Now, with a big, deep inhalation, I want you to curl and squeeze your toes as tightly as you can. Are you ready? Go ahead and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze them, and on your exhalation, completely let them go. Good. We're going to try that one more time, just to make sure you really have the hang of it before moving on to other body parts. Please be sure to absolutely let go of the body part we're focusing on with your exhalation, and feel free to release an audible sigh as you breathe out, like this. Okay, go ahead and wiggle your toes once more. With your next inhalation, squeeze them as tightly as you can, curling them in towards the soles of your feet, and release them with your exhalation. Shift your awareness to your feet, ankles, and calves. Are they tired, swollen, crampy, or achy, or do they feel pretty good right now? Let's try a few ankle circles. Gently rotate your feet a few times in both a clockwise and a counterclockwise direction. Now take a deep breath in and pull your toes back towards your shins as much as you can, possibly even causing your heels to lift. And with your exhale, totally let go. Inhale and point your toes as hard as you can. Pause here and release with your exhalation. Focusing on just the left leg, I want you to slowly rock the whole leg from side to side, just gently back and forth a few times. With your next inhalation, point your left toes and squeeze all of the muscles of the left leg so hard that your leg begins to float above the ground by an inch or two. Allow it to drop and relax with your exhale. Let's repeat that on the right side. First, gently rock the entire right leg from side to side. Then inhale and point your toes, squeeze the leg muscles, and lift the leg just slightly off of the ground. Exhale, let go, and allow your leg to drop back down to the ground like it's a dead weight. Squeeze the muscles of your bottom, and if you're able, lift up through the pelvic floor muscles as tightly as you can as you breathe in. And upon your next exhale, relax them entirely. Transitioning your focus to the region of your back and your abdomen, take your inhalation and tighten up your back and belly muscles, pulling your navel in deeply towards your spine. And with your exhale, sigh out the breath and release all of the tension in your torso. Move your awareness to your fingers and your hands. What do they feel like? Do they currently have more or less tension than your toes and your feet? Take a moment to gently wiggle your fingers around and observe if they feel stiff and tight, or are they loose and free? Allow them to become still, and as you breathe in, squeeze them into small, tight fists, curling your fingers into the palms of your hands. Squeeze, 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 and relax as you breathe out. Next, I'm going to ask you to repeat curling your hands into fist, in addition to tightening up all of the muscles in both upper extremities. Are you ready? Go ahead and with your inhale, tense up all of the muscles in your arms. Squeeze your hands into fist and hover both arms just slightly above the ground. Drop them back down to the earth with your exhale and give them permission to be supported and as heavy as possible. Notice how your body feels from the torso down. It may feel like it's sinking down into the earth, or possibly as if it's levitating above the ground. Both reactions are completely normal and expected responses and indicate that the process is working for you. Let's continue. As you breathe in again, I'd like for you to squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears, just as high as you can. Lift them up and try to tense the muscles of your neck as well. Exhale and release. Breathing in, open your mouth like you're forming an exaggerated yawn and hold it, tightening up your face and the front of your neck. Let go as you breathe out. Finally, I want you to scrunch up your face, puckering your lips together and squeezing your eyes shut very tightly with your inhalation. Hold this position for a few seconds and then relax your face with your exhalation. Excellent, excellent job. Once more, please redirect your attention to your breath. Observe the quality of your breath now that you've completed a session of progressive muscle relaxation. How does it compare to your breathing prior to tensing and relaxing all of the major muscle groups of your body? Is it slower, calmer, smoother, or deeper? Take a minute to perform an overall internal body scan. What does your body feel like? Are any of your body parts still tense, stiff, or tight? If so, perhaps you'd like to repeat contracting and relaxing those particular regions. Do you feel like dead weight or like you're floating? Is this sensation something that you recognize, or is it a brand new feeling for you? Please do not rush or hurry out of this position, particularly if you're experiencing a pleasant sensation. Spend as much time as you'd like, either focusing on your breath or on the feeling of relaxation within your body. Also, please know that this feeling of profound physical and mental relaxation was within you all along. This is your natural and normal state, and it's your birthright to experience it always. Whenever you notice your body feeling differently than how it feels right now, whether you're experiencing symptoms of tightness, stiffness, or pain, then remind yourself to let go of unnecessary tension and try to return to this state of peace and tranquility. Now that you've experienced a session of progressive muscle relaxation, hopefully you can better understand how it was extremely instrumental in keeping Molly healthy. 2 weeks after Molly found herself in the emergency room with heart palpitations and angina, she lost her job. Fortunately, she had already implemented the stress managing technique of progressive muscle relaxation, using a guided auditory class very much like the one presented in this lecture. She had faithfully practiced muscle relaxation nightly from the time she left the hospital. Between her commitment to taking better care of herself, remaining mindful of her physical responses to mental stress, and a decent severance package, Molly was able to gracefully leave one job and land another in a timely fashion, without causing a disruption in her children's tuition payments or wreaking havoc on her health. Whenever we're faced with stressful circumstances in life, we can better handle the situation by managing our perspective and our responses to whatever is going on. Fortunately, there are many techniques to assist us in minimizing stress's potential harmful consequences. As the mind and the body are so intimately connected, we can begin to obliterate stress and its negative impact on our health by focusing on either calming the mind, the body, or both. Progressive muscle relaxation just so happens to positively influence both the body and the mind, while activating the parasympathetic nervous system and inducing the relaxation response. Possessing a calm and relaxed body and mind is everyone's birthright. It is our natural state. Regularly employing methods such as muscle relaxation can help us return to this natural state of being time and time again, and it can go a long way toward helping us achieve wellness in a holistic manner.